Good afternoon, sir.
Very good afternoon, Shravani.
Good
Good afternoon, Sharvani.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Soham. Alright, so students, please keep your cameras on. Shravani, Sharvani, Soham, Nandini, Ishwar, Arya. Okay. Arya, so how are you feeling now? Arya? Okay, so okay, so many more to get connected with us. So we'll wait for them for next 1 or 2 minutes and then we'll start. Okay? Yeah. So meanwhile, just take out your notebook and write down the name of our first topic, that is laws of motion. Okay. Just a moment. Let me share that page below. All right. So can you see this paint window on your screen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So write down the topic name. Topic laws of motion. Are a to study basic terms first we will see what is motion, then we will discuss about the basic terms, we will discuss about distance, then displacement, then we will discuss about speed, then velocity, and final term will be acceleration. Are the seven basic terms or basic concepts that we discuss during this session. Alright? Done with your writing part?
Yes, sir.
All right. So first we'll write about motion. So make a point and write down the question. Write down the question. So the question is, what is motion? The question is, what is motion? And as we have discussed earlier, motion is nothing but what? Change of position of an object with respect to the surrounding. Yeah. So motion can be defined as change of position of an object with respect to the surrounding. With respect to the surrounding is called motion. Yeah. So change of position. So that can be demonstrated through this particular diagram. So suppose an object is somewhere here initially, okay? It was somewhere here at point A, suppose, yeah? After now after applying certain amount of force to this object, what will happen? Suppose if I apply force on this object in this particular direction, then it will change its position, it will move, it will get displaced, okay? And it will be somewhere here after some time, okay? So you will find this object somewhere here after a certain time. So it changes its position. It changes its position. That means it get into the motion. It get into the motion. Okay? And it possesses that motion due to the external force. Due to the external force. Now see, while studying the concept of motion, we come across different terms. The first thing required for motion is force. Now we all are familiar with the concept of force, right? Yes,
Yes, sir.
we know
Yes,
what.
sir.
Yeah, we know what is force, right? So in a simple way, we can define force as a little push or pull. A little push or pull, which causes motion to the object, which causes motion to the object is what we call force. Now see, there are 2 points as shown in this figure, point A and point B. Now, after applying force on this object, it changes its position or it gets displaced from its original point A to point B. So that means while displacing it, what we can say, it attains that or it covers a certain distance. It covers a certain distance. So now next term is distance. So what is distance? How to define distance? How to define distance? As you can see, there is a certain length between point A and point B, right? Between point A and point B, there is a certain length, right? Are you all getting my point?
Yes.
What I am saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes,
So while displacing from point A to point B, object travels a certain length or a certain distance. Okay? So that magnitude of distance can be defined as magnitude of a distance. So next term we will write distance. So distance can be defined as the actual path or length of the actual path or total length of the actual path traveled by an object. Are you all following this definition of distance?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah. So we will mention somewhere here as d. Small d is used to represent distance traveled. Small d is used to represent distance traveled by an object. Yeah, obviously, in between these 2 points, there is a certain length. So the total length of this actual part traveled by an object is what we call distance. By an object is called distance. We need to complete this statement. Object is called distance. Is called distance. Okay. Now, while defining distance, I used to say the displacement. Yeah, it displaces from point A to B. In which direction? In the direction of externally applied force. Okay, while defining its displacement, we used to show its direction from where to where it gets displaced. From point A to point B it displaces, right? So while defining displacement, we can define it as the shortest distance. It is defined as the shortest distance traveled by an object. Now through this diagram you will not understand the basic difference between distance and displacement. Now let me elaborate it. Okay, for the displacement we will go through another diagram. Let me tell you. The shortest distance traveled by an object is called displacement. Is called displacement. Okay, so to understand the term displacement, let's go to this particular diagram. Let's go to this particular diagram. Okay, so suppose, yeah, suppose you are somewhere here. This is your initial point. Suppose for a moment you are at point A and your school is somewhere here. Your school is somewhere here. Okay. Now there are different paths. Okay, through which you can go to your school. Suppose there is a path like this from where you can go to your school. One path is like this. So you can go in this way. There is another path. You can go through this way as well. You can go through this way as well. Or you can go through this way as well. Right? Okay. Now see, the actual path is this. The actual path is this. That means to reach to your school, you need to follow this path. First, you need to go from point A to point B, then to point C, where your school is located. Okay? So to reach to your school, you need to go to point B, first A to B, then B to C. So this is the actual path. That means total distance, total length. So it is what we call distance, as we have written total length of the actual path traveled by an object is called distance. So suppose from point A to point B, the distance or the length of the path is around say 50 meters. Then from point B to C, it is about say 20 meters. So the total distance or total length of this actual path will be addition of these two lengths. So the total distance will be 70 meters. So you can
70
say
meters.
I traveled the distance about 70 meters daily to reach to my school. This is the way you can talk about the distance. But if suppose somebody asks you about displacement, then how you can define it? As we have
Sir, from
mentioned, the
A to
shortest,
C.
yes,
A to
the
C.
shortest distance, yes, yes, yeah, let me explain it. We have defined displacement as the shortest distance traveled by an object. Now, as you can see, the shortest distance here will be from point A to C directly. Okay, it will be from point A to point C. Now, to find this shortest distance or length of this distance, simply you can follow the triangle law, Pythagoras theorem, to find out the length of this distance or length of this point A to C. Getting my point? But while
Yes.
talking about displacement, you should give particular direction to it. Now you can't say only I got displaced from point A to C by say 50 to 20, 50, 20, 250, 400. How much will it be if we go through Pythagoras theorem? AC square is equals to AB square plus BC square. How much will it be? Just try to find out. AC square is equal to AB square plus BC square. How much will it be? AB square is 50 square, so
290.
50, yes,
290.
290.
Yes.
Confirm.
Yes.
Okay. Alright.
Sir, 2900. 2900. Sir, but its perfect square number is not coming. Square root is not coming.
Yeah. So it is 2900. 2900. Right? So the AC will be out of this 2900. So it will be around 54. So it will be around 54. We will take, yeah, 53 point certain, 53.85 something around. So we'll take it as a 54. Okay. You can calculate it later at home, but for now just concentrate on this. Yeah. What about total length? Total length is AB. Total length was AB plus BC which was about 70 meters. So the total length of that actual path was 70 meters, whereas the shortest distance is about 54 meters. So 54 meter is the displacement since it is the shortest distance. Okay, but while talking about displacement, we should give its proper direction. So if you talk about its proper direction, then let's draw that direction. It is east, west, south, and north. So how? So its displacement. So you can say object displaces by 54 meter to the northeast. To the northeast. It is going somewhere here. That means it is northeast direction. Getting it? Northeast.
Yes, sir.
So it has got certain direction. 54 meter to the northeast. 54 meter to the northeast. Okay. So while talking about displacement, we should show its direction, proper direction. अदरवाइज क्या होगा, खाली मैग्नीट्यूड आप लोग अगर बोलोगे तो इट विल बी डिस्टेंस, it will be distance. But when we are talking about displacement, we should give a proper direction. We should give a proper direction. So distance and displacement, both terms are looking same, but the difference is distance has got only magnitude, that is about 70 meter, that is about 70 meter. But displacement has got magnitude as well as it has got direction. So it makes the difference between these two terms, distance and displacement. So it makes the difference between the two terms, distance and displacement. Distance has got only magnitude, whereas displacement has got magnitude as well as direction. Now you know these terms, right? What do we call the term has got only magnitude? What do we call?
Distance.
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 And the term
Distance.
has got magnitude as well as this direction is what we call displacement. Okay.
Displacement.
Displacement.
If suppose in examination you are asking to differentiate between distance and displacement, then how to differentiate? Let's try to understand. Distance and displacement concepts are clear.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let's try to differentiate between them. So we'll make two columns. First we'll write distance. Here we'll write displacement. But don't forget, both are measured in meters. Both are measured in meters. The only difference is magnitude and direction. Okay? That direction only makes the difference between these two terms. So while differentiating, first point will be of definition. So first point will be definition. Okay? आपको define करना है. So what is the definition of distance? Distance का definition क्या है?
Total length of the actual path traveled by an object.
Total length of an total length of actual path traveled by an object, whereas displacement can be defined as the shortest distance traveled by an object. Okay. Next point, second point, distance has got only magnitude. It has only magnitude, whereas displacement has got, it has magnitude as well as direction. Okay. Next point, it has got only magnitude, thus it is called a scalar quantity. So it is scalar quantity. Make a note, scalar means having only magnitude. Scalar means having only magnitude. And it is vector quantity. It
Vector
is,
quantity.
yes, it is vector quantity. Now vector means, make a note, vector means having both magnitude and direction. Vector means having both magnitude and direction. Getting it?
Yes, sir.
And the similarity is
Yes,
both
sir.
are measured, both distance and displacement measured in meter. Okay, both distance and displacement measured in meter. So meter is the SI of distance and displacement. Getting it?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, based on distance and displacement, we are going to study our next basic terms, which are again related to the motion part, and those terms are speed, velocity, and acceleration. But before that, let me know whether these
Sir,
terms.
show the differentiate.
Yes, yes, yes. I'm yeah, going into that. But before that, let me know whether these motion, distance, displacement concepts are clear or not.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So
All
clear.
right. Have you taken screenshot of this? Please take screenshot of this.
Wrote it.
Take screenshot of this as well. So here we will write it is displacement, and रेड कलर में हम लोग लिखेंगे डिस्टेंस. Okay, this is distance and this is displacement. Done.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
Screenshot of this as well. You can add one more difference into it, but it is not a general one. Yeah, most of the time we make use of both the letters, and the difference is distance is, or we used to represent it with the small letter d. So we can write, yeah, we can add it. Add it. So it is represented by the letter small d, whereas it is represented by letter small s. ये लिखने की जरूरत नहीं है वैसे, बट स्टिल या इट इज represented by letter small x. ओके, ये नहीं लिखा तो भी चलेगा, बट द एडिशनल वन. Okay.
Done, sir.
All right. So now next term, speed and velocity. Speed and velocity. Let's shift it further. The next concept is speed. Speed, it is a measure of distance. It is a measure of distance and defined as and defined as defined as change of distance per unit time or or rate of change of distance is what we call speed, is what we call speed. So in a mathematical way we can write it as speed capital S is equal to rate of change of distance. So that can be shown in a mathematical way as distance upon time, which is written as in a letter d by t, d by t, and the total speed can be written as capital D upon capital T. This will give you the total speed, okay, and small d by small t will tell you the yeah, instantaneous, we can say, at an instant kitna speed that can be given. Okay, so speed, it is a measure of distance and defined as change of distance per unit time or rate of change of distance. Getting it? So the SI unit of speed is distance का unit है meter. So the SI unit is meter per second. It is measured in meter per second, and it is also a scalar quantity since it is a measure of distance and distance is a scalar quantity, so as speed is also scalar quantity. Getting it? Getting my point?
Yes.
Okay. And the next term, velocity. Velocity, it is a measure of displacement and defined as sorry, and defined as change of displacement per unit time or or rate of change of displacement. Okay, rate of change of displacement. Done, and can be written as displacement sorry velocity v is equal to displacement upon time, which is can be written as s by t, and it is also measured in meter per second, but it is a vector quantity, Done?
No, sir.
Just a moment, let me arrange it properly. Okay. So now you can take screenshot of this. Done?
No, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
All
sir.
right. So acceleration,
Yes, sir.
acceleration terms remaining. So we will talk about this acceleration part during next session. For now, we'll stop here. Okay. So we'll meet tomorrow. Till then, goodbye and take care.
Bye, sir.
Bye, sir. Bye, sir.
Bye. Bye.